Every individual, at some point in their life, finds themselves striving to control their surroundings, circumstances, and sometimes even the people in their lives. This innate desire to exert control, to shape our environment to our liking, stems from a deeply ingrained evolutionary instinct. As our ancestors faced the unpredictable challenges of the wild, they learned that control often equated to survival. Whether it was the control over fire, tools, or even societal structures, the more mastery they had over their surroundings, the more secure they felt. However, in our modern world, this desire for control has taken on a more subtle and sometimes even insidious form. It's not just about physical survival anymore. We seek control to maintain our social standing, our self image, and to cope with the uncertainties of a rapidly changing world. We often believe that by controlling external variables, we can ensure favorable outcomes and thereby minimize feelings of insecurity, vulnerability, and fear. Yet, what we perceive as control is mostly an illusion, a construct we have created to provide ourselves a sense of security. Even the most carefully laid plans can be disrupted by unforeseen events, and no amount of effort can guarantee a specific result. We witness this when sudden events like natural calamities, economic downturns, or personal tragedies disrupt our well orchestrated lives. These instances starkly highlight the fragile nature of our perceived control. Moreover, this constant need to control and the resultant resistance when things don't go as planned creates a tremendous amount of stress and tension in our lives. This not only has detrimental effects on our mental and physical well being, but also restricts us from experiencing the full spectrum of possibilities. We get so fixated on a particular outcome or way of being that we become blind to other avenues, solutions, or opportunities that might be available to us. Surrender is often misunderstood. It's commonly perceived as a sign of defeat or weakness, as if one is throwing in the towel, admitting to the universe their incapacity to handle life's challenges. But nothing could be further from the truth. Surrender is, in fact, a conscious choice, a profound act of personal strength and deep self awareness. It's about recognizing that while we play a significant role in shaping our destiny, there are external forces and a higher intelligence that also play a part, often beyond our understanding. At its core, surrendering is about trust. It's about trusting in the natural flow of life, believing that there's a greater force at work, one that guides and supports us in ways we may not immediately recognize. This doesn't mean we become passive recipients of whatever life throws our way. Instead, it means we shift from a mindset of rigid expectations to one of open acceptance. We still set our intentions, work diligently towards our goals, and make conscious decisions, but we do so with the understanding that the universe has its rhythms and reasons. Consider, for instance, the intricate dance of nature. A seed doesn't struggle to become a tree. It simply grows, nourished by the soil, water, and sunlight. Birds don't fret about the journey ahead. They migrate thousands of miles instinctively, trusting in the magnetic fields of the earth to guide them. Nature, in all its grandeur, doesn't resist or force. It simply is. And there's a profound lesson in that for all of us. We too are a part of this vast, intricate system. And when we align ourselves with its rhythms rather than resist them, we find ourselves in a state of flow where challenges are met with grace and obstacles turn into opportunities. Now, the idea of surrendering can be particularly challenging for our modern minds. We live in an age of immediacy where we've become accustomed to having control at our fingertips, from customizing our coffee orders to tailoring our news feeds. Yet, with all this control comes a paradoxical feeling of being out of control, of being overwhelmed by choices, information, and the relentless pace of life. This is where the power of surrender comes into play. It's a reminder that sometimes the best way to move forward isn't by pushing harder, but by letting go. In a world of endless ambitions, we've been conditioned to believe that the tighter we grip our dreams, the more likely they are to manifest. Yet, as many spiritual traditions teach, it is in the act of letting go that we truly gain. But what does it mean to truly let go? It's not about complacency or neglecting our responsibilities. Rather, it's about releasing our attachment to specific outcomes, acknowledging that there's a vast intelligence at work that knows better than our limited perspectives. Every time you've tried to force an outcome, pushing and straining to make something happen, you might have noticed a feeling of exhaustion, resistance, or even a sense of being blocked. This is because when we operate from a space of neediness or desperation, we emit a specific frequency, a kind of energetic signature that can push away the very things we desire. It's akin to constantly checking a seed you've planted, digging it up every other day to see if it's sprouting yet. Such actions disrupt the natural growth process. Similarly, our obsessive need to control outcomes disrupts the universal flow of events tailored for our growth. But imagine if, instead of forcing, we began flowing, if, after planting the seed, we simply nurtured it, trusting that in time and with the right conditions, it would sprout and grow. This is the essence of surrender. It's understanding that while we participate in the creation of our reality, we must also allow for the magic of life to unfold, to show us the way, and sometimes to surprise us. By continuously trying to control, we inadvertently place ourselves in a box, limiting our experiences to what we believe is possible. However, when we release our grip on the reins of life, we allow for the unexpected, the unimaginable, and often the most beautiful outcomes to manifest. There's a profound freedom in this realization, knowing that we're supported by an intelligence far greater than our conscious minds. This doesn't diminish our role in the co creative process. On the contrary, it amplifies it. Our role is to dream, to believe, and to act in alignment with our highest intentions. But then we must step back, allowing the universe to weave its magic, letting the quantum field rearrange itself in ways that will be most beneficial for our evolution and growth. Surrender also teaches us humility. It reminds us that while we are powerful beings capable of shaping our destiny, we are also a part of something much larger, something infinitely complex and wondrous. It's a dance, a delicate balance between intention and detachment, between dreaming and trusting. And as we master this dance, we find that life not only becomes more effortless, but in the realm of human experience, there is a paradox that is as mysterious as it is profound: the power of vulnerability. To many, vulnerability is seen as weakness, a state to be avoided at all costs. But what if I told you that within vulnerability lies the seed of tremendous power, a gateway to deeper connections and transformational experiences? As we dive into the subject of surrender, vulnerability is its close companion. To surrender is to open oneself up to the unknown, to embrace uncertainty without the armor of control. This act of openness, of laying oneself bare to life's vastness, is an act of ultimate vulnerability. It's a courageous stance, a powerful declaration to the universe that we trust in its grand design and infinite wisdom. But why is vulnerability so essential? For starters, vulnerability connects us to our true essence. Beneath the layers of our personalities, beyond the masks we wear, lies our authentic self, raw and unfiltered. When we embrace vulnerability, we are embracing our authentic selves with all our imperfections, doubts, and fears. This authenticity resonates deeply with others, creating stronger, more genuine connections. It acts as a mirror reflecting back the shared human experience, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles and joys. Moreover, vulnerability acts as a conduit for healing. Many of us carry emotional wounds, traumas from the past that weigh heavily on our hearts. These wounds, if left unaddressed, can manifest as physical ailments, relationship challenges, or mental health issues. By embracing vulnerability, by allowing ourselves to feel and process these emotions without judgment or resistance, we pave the way for profound healing. It's akin to cleaning a wound. It might sting at first, but it's necessary for healing to occur. Now, let's talk about the magic that unfolds when vulnerability meets surrender. When we are vulnerable, we are open, receptive, and unguarded. In this state, when we surrender to the flow of life, we become like a leaf on a river, effortlessly carried by the currents, open to the myriad experiences and lessons that life offers. This combination of openness and trust creates a fertile ground for miracles to occur. We begin to notice synchronicities, those magical moments when the universe seems to be winking at us, reminding us that we are on the right path. It's essential, however, to understand that vulnerability is not about being passive or weak. It's about being brave enough to show up authentically, to voice our truths, to feel deeply, and to trust that by doing so, we are aligning with a higher purpose. It's a conscious choice to live with an open heart, even when it's challenging, even when we've been hurt before. When we talk about the journey of self-discovery and transformation, one of the most pivotal aspects we encounter is the practice of letting go. Letting go is intricately woven into the fabric of surrender, and understanding its depths can unlock unparalleled freedom and peace within us. At first glance, letting go might seem synonymous with loss or defeat. It can evoke images of forfeiting, of throwing in the towel. However, the true essence of letting go is far from this perception. It's an active engagement with life, a conscious decision to release what no longer serves us to make space for what might. It's the realization that by clinging to certain aspects, whether they're outdated beliefs, old grudges, or patterns of behavior, we are preventing new experiences, insights, and wisdom from entering our lives. One of the reasons we hold on to things, even those that cause us pain or hinder our growth, is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, and sometimes fear of our own power and potential. We become attached to the familiar, even if it's uncomfortable or detrimental, because it provides a sense of security, a known quantity in the vastness of life's uncertainties. However, when we delve deeper into the nature of these attachments, we discover that they are often constructs of the mind based on past experiences and future anxieties. They are seldom rooted in the present moment, the here and now. By incessantly revisiting the past or projecting into the future, we trap ourselves in a loop, missing out on the richness of the present. By choosing to let go, we are not discarding or diminishing our past experiences. Instead, we are acknowledging them, learning from them, and then moving forward with a renewed perspective. This act of releasing brings with it a lightness, a feeling of being unburdened. As the weight of past regrets and future worries lifts, we find ourselves more agile, more open to life's ebb and flow, and more attuned to the opportunities and lessons that each moment brings. Another profound realization that accompanies the practice of letting go is the understanding of impermanence. Everything in life, emotions, experiences, even our very selves, are in a state of constant flux. Recognizing this impermanence helps us detach from rigid expectations and outcomes, allowing us to flow with life rather than resist it. Imagine a river, its waters flowing smoothly and effortlessly. Now picture a dam blocking its path. The river's flow is disrupted, its natural course altered. Our attachments, fears, and resistances act as these dams. By letting go, by dismantling these barriers, we allow the river of our lives to flow freely, to chart its course, and to reach its destination with grace and ease. The realm of surrender often presents us with a paradoxical truth. In relinquishing control, we gain mastery. It's a concept that might seem counterintuitive, especially in a world that consistently emphasizes the importance of control, of steering the course of our destinies with unwavering hands. But when we dive deeper into the understanding of true surrender, we begin to recognize its power and the transformative effects it can have on our lives. When we speak of mastery, it's essential to redefine it from the perspective of surrender. Mastery, in this context, isn't about dominating or controlling, but about harmonizing, aligning, and resonating with the natural flow of life. It's about attuning ourselves so deeply to the rhythm of existence that we become one with it. This kind of mastery emerges from a place of deep trust, not only in the universe, but in ourselves. Our inherent nature, beneath the layers of societal conditioning and personal history, is one of harmony. Like a musical note that finds its rightful place in a symphony, we too have a unique frequency, a signature vibration that adds to the cosmic orchestra. However, over time, external influences, past traumas, and ingrained beliefs can skew this frequency, leading us to feel out of sync, dissonant, or even lost. The act of surrender helps us recalibrate by letting go of the need to control every aspect of our journey. By releasing our grip on preconceived outcomes and rigid plans, we allow ourselves to be guided back to our natural state. It's akin to a compass pointing north, always leading us back to our true essence, our most authentic self. Now, this doesn't mean that we become passive observers of our lives. On the contrary, in surrendering, we become active participants, co-creators with the universe. We engage with life with an open heart and a receptive mind, allowing experiences to shape us, mold us, and propel us forward. We become malleable, adaptable, and fluid, qualities that are essential in navigating the ever-changing landscape of existence. Furthermore, surrender is also about embracing uncertainty. In our quest for control, we often seek predictability and security, but life, in its infinite wisdom, is inherently uncertain. And while this uncertainty might seem daunting, it's also the breeding ground for magic, for miracles, and for serendipity. When we embrace uncertainty and step into the unknown, we open ourselves up to a realm of possibilities, experiences, and growth that a predetermined path could never offer. So, how do we cultivate this art of surrender? It begins with self-awareness. It requires us to pause, reflect, and tune into our inner world. It calls for introspection, for recognizing the areas in our lives where we hold on too tightly and understanding the fears and insecurities that fuel this need for control. Once we identify these, we can begin the process of gently releasing them, of trusting the journey, and of immersing ourselves in the flow of life. The journey of surrender is both profound and liberating. It's a dance with the universe, where every step, every twirl, and every leap is an act of trust, of faith, and of love. And as we dance, as we surrender, we find that we are not only moving in harmony with the cosmos, but also with our deepest, most authentic selves. We realize that in letting go, we are not losing control, but gaining a deeper, more profound connection with life and all its wonders.